Hello again and welcome back to another one. And we are back with more today, focused on Eminem, who recently hit a new career peak in the year of our Lord 2024. And this comes 28 years after his debut album. And we got more from 50 Cent about how M's been able to maintain this level of longevity and success. And 50 Cent also went into detail about why no one is touching M when it comes to this. And speaking on M and 50, we got to hear from Snoop Dogg about the creation process of Guns and Smoke, and let's just say Snoop's breakdown would certainly rile up the likes of Dame Dash, if you know what I mean, and we'll expand on this later. Today we also have more from The Game, who recently spoke about being left out when people talk about the greatest West Coast legends, and we'll expand on this in a moment. And speaking of West Coast legends, we got more on Kendrick Lamar. This time we got to see Lil Baby's reaction to Kendrick's lyrics on Not Like Us about how the quote colonizer Drake uses him to get his lingo up. And spoiler alert, Lil Baby's reaction has sparked heated debates. And starting with the latest on M, things aren't going well for those who push certain narratives about Detroit. If you recall, a few days ago we uncovered the facts that showed M has way more listeners in Detroit than rappers who claim no one listens to M in Detroit. And we are talking about rappers like Lil Baby that we exposed using real-world data and not narratives. And this time around, we got another one. Eminem's Houdini was the most Googled song in Detroit, Michigan, USA in 2024. And Kendrick's Euphoria and Meet the Grahams were number 2 and 3 respectively in Detroit. So let's just say another narrative officially and objectively bites the dust in 2024. And moving on, we got Lil Baby come under fire for his take on Kendrick Lamar mentioning him on Not Like Us, when Kendrick Lamar rapped about how Drake's been moving like a colonizer in Atlanta. Quote, "You called Future when you didn't see the club. Lil Baby helped you get your lingo up." And Lil Baby reacted to this. Check out a snippet.
What was your reaction when you heard Kendrick mention you and Not Like Us? He said Lil Baby helped you get your lingo up in reference to Drake. What'd you think when you heard that?
I ain't really into like that side of hip hop, so I don't really, you know.
But you and Drake always had a good relationship. I mean, Drake helped you a lot.
Great relationship.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, it's just with any situation, like if you and him was arguing, what the hell you gonna say, man? You know?
Like, don't bring you in it.
Yeah, man, I don't wanna be having nothing to do with it. I be having, not saying whatever they got going on ain't real or nothing, but I feel like, to me, like rapping shit be my work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want that type of shit at work, you know what I'm saying? That's what, like, even you saying, like, what's your relationship with Gunna? I ain't in it for that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? I ain't on that.
Well, I brought that up just because of the music,
right.
The music aspect of it. Because, you know, people, y'all made hits together. And some people want that again.
Right.
And boy, while he's getting slammed for his choice of words in takes like, and just what the F is that side of hip-hop, the side where dudes can actually rap, Lil Baby has also been put on blast for not appreciating the shout-out. Called him a gatekeeper to Atlanta slang. He's upset over that, and more. Dude was given props and got mad, laughing emojis. But on the other end, some have hit back with, he just don't want his name involved in discrediting someone he has a good working relationship with. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out and respect his opinion. So basically, the people mad about his response are mad because he wouldn't throw Drake under the bus like YG. What are your thoughts? And moving on, we got The Game out here speaking on being left out of conversations when it comes to West Coast GOATs. Check out a snippet from Billboard.
I literally thought that I should have died. I'm just being honest, because we're gonna have a moment, right? I really thought that I should have died somewhere between the documentary and Doctor's Advocate. The fact that I didn't, I call pure luck. And my will to survive was purely based on wanting to walk my daughter down the aisle. I had a new mission and a new will to live. That's what it's about for me. And so it's easy for me to give my flowers to Kendrick and YG and Ice Cube and say I love and miss Snip and do all of that. And I get left out of all the conversations. I get left off the murals. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I literally am just trying to stay alive to see my daughter walk down the aisle. And that's it. My purpose was only to be a father. And this list is cool. But fatherhood, that's me.
However, the game failed to acknowledge his Roman middle name, Cornelius, as one of the major reasons he gets left out of these conversations has got a lot to do with some of his actions, and this response went viral. Game is to blame for not being respected. We did nothing but suffer through childish antics. All you had to do was rap. The same game who said Ye did more for him in 2 weeks than Dre did in his entire career, solely because he was salty about the Super Bowl, is talking about being left out of conversations after all the antics over the years, and users kept going. I never knew that 50 Cent and Dr. Dre essentially gave the game the documentary. All hits on there were 50's songs that he had handed over to the game to help launch his career. When I found that out, I realized I wasn't really a game fan. It was 50 and Dre all along. But what are your thoughts on the game getting left out of murals? And moving on, Snoop Dogg recently spoke about his relationship with 50 Cent on DJ Who Kids podcast.
You got 50 Cent, man, on your album, man. You got 50 Cent.
You know, me and 50, that's my and
please.
I'm the only nigga that probably me and 50 Cent will never have an issue because we the same people. We love to be petty. I call him Petty Riley though, or yeah, Petty LaBelle.
Petty LaBelle.
Yeah.
And Snoop expanded on the creation process of Guns and Smoke and how working with Eminem raises the bar. Check out a snippet.
Getting him on the record meant a lot because it was a song that I wanted him and Eminem on, and Dre wanted him on it. So it was like it was the first time we all was like in agreement song. This the perfect record for everybody to get on. Let's get it done. And 50 went first. He knocked his shit out first, which made it hard on me because I had to come behind him. And then Eminem, he always just kills shit. He don't give a who before him. You just better not go after him. Like when I rap with Eminem, I know I gotta be the way up because this ain't playing.
He's like bred for that shit, man.
He make you go hard. Then he the type of that when you finish the song, he'll go back in and change and do 4 more bars. You be like, nigga, you cheating, man. Why you get 4 more bars in with them? You mother you already done cut my head off. Now you going in for 4 more bars? And he just like, God damn it, Marshall, you bad motherfucker. I'm glad you on my team.
Well, one of the bucket lists, because I asked him, he's actually airing the same time you air, because I interviewed Eminem. So I did bring up, he did talk about you, like he's happy that you and Dre is back. So I'm like, yo, why don't you and 50 do a collab? Why they don't have a collab album after all this time, man?
It takes this. It takes me and Dre to do it. We got to show people that it's better when we together. And sometimes you got to lead the way. You can talk about it, but you got to show them. Like, people love when me and Dre together. They love that emotion, that feeling. Even if we'd have put out a whack record, they would appreciate it. But that we put out a dope-ass record is more appreciative, and now you understand why we great together. That's the same thing that people got to do when they're meant for each other. Tandems. If you're a duo, like certain people that you work with, if y'all work well together, find a way to mend that, misunderstanding and get back together. If it's not a misunderstanding, find a way to make time to get together.
And this sparked reactions like, I'm glad they squashed their beef, but it feels kinda weird to me how Snoop always talks like he's had ends back when he was just dissing him. And boy, this sparked another round of debates, as there are those who are still convinced that all Snoop said was that he didn't have Eminem in his top 5, and there was no disrespect. Of course, if this is you, you are completely wrong. We already dealt with this extensively years ago, and it was a full-on civil war with even Royce back then, until Snoop apologized for his tone and comments. So it is great they are on good terms today, but don't try to rewrite history and claim nothing happened. And moving on, we got Em out here hitting new career peaks in the year 2024. Check this out. 2024 was Em's biggest year ever on Spotify, with 9 billion streams across all credits. He was the most streamed artist of the year to debut in the 90s, and this sparked reactions like, thank God he fell off. And it is a sight to behold how people struggle to cope with the fact that Em remains successful even after years of the certain narrative that's been pushed by hip-hop media and media personalities, hence takes like insane accomplishment for a guy that hasn't made a listenable song since I was in diapers. Talk about someone struggling with the fact that they aren't the center of the universe. Like, what do you mean people like something that I don't like? And another user expanded, great for Em, loved this album, and I'm not surprised. Twitter hates this like they hate everything that's good. And we got some context from 50 Cent about M's recipe to cook up this level of longevity and matching success. And as you'd see from 50's perspective, when someone calls M a culture vulture or someone who used hip-hop as a stepping stone, it is completely nonsensical and in a logical world, even more applicable to some other well-known GOAT tier rappers. Check out a snippet.
He really is the biggest. Like, you know, they can say what they want. Yeah, no. But when we go to the stats, the actual
numbers don't lie.
Numbers. He's the
and
biggest
before
one.
the days of the bots and all that shit. You know, M obviously speaks with you with high praise, but there's a few videos that I see, and everybody talks about how funny you are. They talk about, obviously, the album's all a success. But, like, Eminem specifically talks about your rapping skill a lot.
Yeah.
Does that mean a lot? I'm like...
It does. Like, you know, so look, he never left that part of the creativity. Like, he would go back. When you don't see him, he's back in his regimen of the studio. And this is why, like, he kind of... They can't... You can be as good as him, but you can't really beat him at that. Because you have to put all your energy there.
And you're just not going to do it. Once these guys get famous, they leave the studio.
And they go, and the thing that makes him feel good is, yo, you heard what I did last last night? And it gives him that again. So if that's really what's driving you, it's really tough to be better than. And some of them may have a gift. It may be a God-given talent that they can rap the way we speak, but they don't work as hard as him. It's like Kobe Bryant was outperforming people because he would work harder, conditioning himself to do it. And other than him, I don't think nobody is.
So 50 still believes that M remains the biggest rapper, all things considered. And I saw someone describe this as Wilt Chamberlain's stats with LeBron's longevity to match. But over to you guys. Share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.